By the way, can you one of you confirm you could hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So here's the thing: if the system is crashing, you don't spend too much time on it. Okay, you just install the new system here. But there are little things you could do for you to bring the system back up. But normally speaking, I mean, you could end up spending the rest of your life troubleshooting, and it may not go anywhere. Okay, so what will happen is you do a little bit of troubleshooting, and if it's something wrong with the operating system, you just do the new install. Okay. So we saw how we destroyed the disk here, right? And when we rebooted, it went into emergency mode. Why did it went into emergency mode? Because I'm gonna go VIETC FS tab. FS tab is the thing that it will. Should I make this bigger here?
Hey, Mr. Zafar, question.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
My putty and everything in my VirtualBox was working perfectly fine last night, but for some reason it's not loading up right now. I'm trying to start the machine and I'm going into putty, but it's just giving me a blank screen. It's not loading.
The virtual machine. Check the IP address. See if it has changed.
Yeah, but the... Okay, let me try it. Give me 1 second.
Any luck? Give me your team viewer.
Okay, 1 second. Let me load it up. Sorry about that. Okay, the ID is 200
200.
255
Uh-huh.
123
Okay, password
726
726
JJM.
JJM. Okay, go ahead and minimize the WebEx. Okay, so here's the thing here. After the class, you might want to update the WebEx. I'm sorry, the
Okay.
team viewer.
Okay.
Okay, so let's take a look here.
I have a dual monitor connected, so let me bring everything back over here. I don't know if that makes a difference.
Oh, this you won't go in there. You have to put in the go into emergency mode. So put in the password. Emergency mode. I'm holding this off. You will not be able to connect. Okay. Okay. Now go into FS tab and comment out the drives.
Oh, let me go back at it. DC. But why did it go into emergency mode on its own? I didn't do anything to it.
Yeah, I'm actually working on it right now. Here.
Oh, okay,
watch,
sorry about that.
Yeah, watch me. Okay. So what we're gonna do is.
Okay.
clear. So last time it went into emergency mode here, right? So I'm going to put it down here why it went to emergency mode, okay? So what happened when the system reboots, when the system is booting, it goes through lots of checks, okay? I'm going to go through the system boot process here, but one of them is checking through FS tab. Okay, so what happened in FS tab, it's booting up and we deleted all the four data drives, right? So what's happening is it's checking the FS tab, and when it couldn't find the drive it's looking for, it goes into the emergency mode. Why is it going to the emergency mode? Because the system is designed so that it halts and goes into emergency mode, because to stop it from further damage, it goes into the emergency mode. So this going into emergency mode tells you that something is wrong with the disk here. So what you have to do is you have to go into war log messages, and we went into war log messages last time, and it told us like timed out waiting for the devices. So go ahead and go in, type your password and go into war log messages. You go to cat war log messages, and you have all these messages being written to your system here, okay? So today might not be the good idea here. So let's see here. This is where the more command comes in. So what I'm going to do is, for the sake of troubleshooting, I'm going to type time out waiting device. So how do I filter that out? Grep timeout. Okay, so timed out. Okay, so these excuse me. So this is in the message here that it timed out waiting for the device. These three devices, it timed out waiting for it. Okay, why did it timed out? Because system is checking through, make sure it's the device is there, and at the same time it's going to load the device. Excuse me. Keep sneezing. Okay, so I'm going to put it in here. Are you seeing the same information? Hello, you there?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
I'm trying to get my putty to get back in right now. My putty's
No,
not
putty
logging
won't
in.
work. Putty won't work.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, go ahead and log in and do cat warlog messages and grep timed.
Okay.
So go ahead and log in and go to VIETC tab. Okay, and comment out how many you had in there. 4, right? If you're following with me, so comment out these 4 lines here. Don't delete it. Comment it out. Put a pound sign before the line starts. Okay, guys, I I'm noticing starting last week, the job market is flooded with the jobs, and the top skills they're looking for is Linux and cloud, which is what I'm teaching you. Okay, so I'm telling you, this course is not a joke, and you will end up landing a six-figure salary with top employers, banks, Amazon, Apple, lot of other. Because why is this Linux is all this is important? Because I think the working from home is going to stay here, and all the big corporations, banks and everything, they need to add servers. What servers they're going to add? More than likely they're going to add Linux. Okay, Windows is strong too, but let me show you in AWS. Let me log into AWS console here, and okay, so this is AWS. It says running instances, and it got like 5 servers in here. Okay, for now it got 5 servers in here, or whatever. These are all the Linux servers here. One of them is not Linux, I think. So if you look on this here, it will tell you what is the architecture here. I'm going to touch up a little bit on AWS, and it says Linux. Okay, and then when you have like a big corporation, they would have thousands of servers in here. Thousands. Not one, not two, not three, thousands. And it's all going into somewhere either AWS, Azure, or I forget what's the other, Google. Yeah, Google Cloud. In my opinion, Google Cloud sucks, and AWS is unbeatable, and Azure is coming up. So Azure is giving a good challenge here. So even if you are looking into get into cloud and everything, you need Linux. You have to all these things, the volumes, snapshots, all these things are Linux based. The security group. I'm gonna go a little bit on the firewall. Adding IT elastic IP is like static IP. We learned how to assign the static IP, right? And all these things here. You won't be able to do everything in AWS, but you will be able to do something here. Look at this here. It's huge. All these things are different job functions here. You will be limited to in here EC2 area and storage, EFS. But I'm going to cover EC2 a little bit here, okay? So that you know what is happening. Look at these services here, man. Amazon is taking everything over. From the time you are born to the time you die, you're going to be paying to Amazon. Okay? How is that possible? How is that possible? I'll tell you how is it possible. Okay? From the time you're going to be born, you're going to born in the hospital, right? So all the hospitals, before you even buy the bills that rack up, it's going to go into in here in cloud. Most hospitals are going into cloud, AWS or whatever. And guess what? The funeral homes are going into AWS too. Funeral home is a business, okay? Don't look at that as a name. I was born in India, and then they don't have a system like that we have here. You have to prepay your grave and everything. That's business, right? That's accounting and all those things and they need an application. Where is that going in? They are all moving into cloud. So I'm telling you, from the before you even born and after you die, everything is going to be cloud. Okay, so you could imagine why Jeff Bezos has $200 billion, because people are paying him even before they are being born and even after they are dead. Did you guys hear me? There is such a so silent there. But anyway, there was just a fact I'm putting in here. But if you learn all this Linux and everything, you're putting yourself into top tier, getting the higher salary for a while. You're gonna be Linux is there everywhere now. I mean, it wasn't until Linux was there all the time, but cloud is pushing it even more. It keeps growing and growing because Linux, you could definitely go ahead and download the Red Hat version of the Linux here. It's free still. But when it comes to support is not free. So for Windows, you have to pay for the license and the support. For Linux, at least you're savings on one side. At least you don't have to pay for the license, okay? Very good. But anyway, please reach out to me if you're lagging behind, if you get stuck somewhere. You have so many resources. You got 5 resources. You got the website, you got the document, you got WhatsApp, you have me, you have the recording, you have the internet. 6 resources. Okay? And let me ask you guys, I mean, so far, how do you guys feel it? Because the tough part is over. So far, the tough part is over. How do you guys feel about it? You guys have good grasp of what I'm showing you, or you need help? You have to let me know, okay?
Yeah.
I think it's a little fast pace.
Well, this is not fast, buddy. What I'm showing you is taking 6 months, right? All this is dumped.
Yeah.
If you take this a Red Hat course by Red Hat, they dump you everything in 5 days, and that would be only one topic. I'm teaching you 4 topics here. I'm teaching you Red Hat administration engineering 2. Administration is 1, engineering is 2, and then scripting is 3, Ansible is 4, and I'm gonna go into AWS 5. Okay. Well, I mean, you should be able to handle it. That's what I'm telling you. You have to follow this formula here. Follow this formula, okay? I mean, don't take it easy. I heard a lot of people say, Linux is such a easy, you just learn the commands. And no. I mean, it's easy for if you are just an end user here, because everything is depending on you. Okay? If you screw up big time in Linux, the whole system could go down. We're going to learn DNS a little later. And DNS is the most crown jewel of the Linux here. If the hackers are targeting a company, if they want to bring big harm to a company, what they're going to do is they're going to target DNS, which I'm going to show you a little later. But follow this thing here, okay? 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 45 minutes. And if you follow that rule, it should be easy, okay? Don't just take out 2 hours and sit down for 2 hours. No, don't do that. Even I don't do it. I don't sit down in one place for 2 hours. I do 45 minutes. And then go ahead and complete the assignment here, okay? Assignment is really important.
When do you want us to complete that? Either today or tomorrow?
I said 2 weeks at one time. I normally don't ask. I don't put a time frame on it. But unless everybody completes it, I'm not going to release the second assignment.
Oh, okay. Because I know you released it like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I know I did. Did you complete it? Did you complete the assignment?
I have like 4 more questions left. No, I have like 4 more questions left.
Yeah. So I work with a couple recruiters, so they look at your assignments and all that. And in fact, I'll try to get recruiters join in and talk about the Linux, what they're looking for, the trends. She's actually a recruiter for Apple, and hopefully the pandemic stays and you guys get to work from home. Yes, that sounds so bad, but if you work from home, that is so nice. You know what I mean? At least for
Yeah.
me, I was running around for 4 or 5 years, man. It's very bad if you have a family here. But you got to understand, to get the first job or get breakthrough in this, you might have to, either travel on weekends or whatever. But right now, if you end up getting a Linux job, it's almost for another year is working from home.
Do we have to certify before the
No,
interview?
no, don't worry about that because I'm gonna sit down with you and build your resume. Okay,
Uh,
certification is meaningless.
uh,
See, the IT is not heavily regulated, right? Like the medical field, you have to be certified doctor and all that. It's not regulated. That's why you don't have to have any degree or anything to break into the IT field and also make a bigger money.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. If you want to become a dental hygienist, you have to spend the college is about like $40,000, and then you don't even make first 5 years. You make like 30,000 a year. And if you are be in a dental hygienist for like years, then you make 60,000. The max you would end up making is 70. And compare that with no education, you are into IT and you understand all these things, and you move forward, then you're already into six-figure salary. Okay, but I'll tell you here, I told you before, LVM is the king. Make sure you know everything about LVM I showed you here. If you know how to do this, and everybody is gonna, no Linux job is not gonna ask about LVM here. This is the king here. That's where the data is living. I gave you every baby steps in here and follow this, and it would be really good here. And you could check with your brother Austin how important LVM is. They will watch it for you.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna bring the document to him
Yeah,
once I
send
go
him the
over.
link and then see what he thinks about it. Like, I want to get some input. How long he's been
Okay.
in the industry already?
Over 10 years, ever since I've known him.
Oh,
'Cause
okay.
he's my brother-in-law, so he's been in it for 10 years.
Is he more Linux or Windows? What is he doing? Linux?
He does networking, so he may not know. But my his brother, he may know. He's into AWS, and
Yeah.
I think he
Well,
knows.
the networking for net. Here's the thing. Except Windows, and if you go into like networking, security, and all that, you have to know Linux.
Okay. Yeah,
So,
I'm definitely gonna bring the document with me when I go talk to him.
yeah. Don't print it. Just give it to him. Just send him the
Okay.
link. I don't
Yeah.
care. I mean, it's publicly available, so
Yeah.
yeah. So let's move forward here. So go ahead and go into emergency mode and then comment this out and then restart the system. So you should come back here, okay? So you did this and then reboot. Okay, I'm getting a call here. You guys hold on for a minute here, okay? I'll be right back. So now, so in this scenario, you just have to comment out this and reboot the system here, okay? All right. So now let's focus on comment out the deleted LVM information. So we did that and we rebooted it. Okay, so now reboot, it should boot normal mode now. Okay, all right. So let's see here. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna have, let's go through this here. I'm gonna explain what this is. Okay, let's go. Let's take this one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So I'm going to fill all this here. Then I'll explain you what each of them means. Okay. So 0, 0. Okay. So what is this? This, we all know this is a partition, right? Partition or LVM. And what is this? Mount point. And what is this? File system. And what is this? This is so there is file system, and then mount, this is default is mount system. I haven't seen anything other than mount system here, because there are other ways you could mount it too. We could take a look here. Okay, there is a, when I'm going to teach NFS, we're going to go through and see what this default means. Okay, and this one is a dump file / backup file. Okay, most of the time we are not using it. Back in the day we used to use this, but I'll explain you why we are not using it. Okay, and let's see here. Oops. And this box is the priority, priority. So we had it priority here, right? Priority is 0. If we have priority 1 or 2, okay, so 0 is a higher priority. Number 1 is less than 0 priority, and number 2 is less than zero priority. You cannot have either you could have zero, either one or two, one of them. You cannot have all three in there. So let me search the web and see. Oh God. Give me 1 second here. Okay, so this is what the situation is we got right now. This is the mount point, this is the file system, and this is the mount system. And then uh, what I was going to look for is mount system types. Okay, yeah, this is what I was looking for. I'm on the call. No. Okay, so the mount system option, we're gonna learn some of this here, not all of them. So most of the time, you'll be using default. So this is what it's doing in the background here: sync, auto, def, execute, no user, read, write. So by default, it's allowing these options here, okay? But if we specify explicitly read only, if we have like RO only here, the users, they could only read and write. The default one is allowing as read, write, execute, and it doesn't have to be a specific user, and those things it's being allowed by default. Similarly, you could restrict all these things here, okay? You could restrict sync means allow synchronized input output operation on the file. But default is doing a lot of things here. But you could restrict it based on the file system you have in there, okay? Mount option. In future we're gonna learn read only, write only, and we're not worried about the other ones here. Most of the time, what will happen is there will be some systems that the user will be using it, but they won't have read write access. They would have read access, okay? So we'll see how those things play out a little later. Okay, so let's move forward. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to repair the file system. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let's see what we have here. I have DFF and H. So we already have 3 file system mounted here, right? New York and Chicago. Okay, good. So I'm going to say VI ETCFS tab. And New York is XFS file system and Chicago is ext4 file system. So let's work on repairing the XFS file system here. So I have this Okay, all right, let's see here. So we have this file system here, right? So for the demo purpose, what I'm going to do is I'm going to corrupt the file system here, okay? So I do lsblk, which one I'm looking at? sb2, sdb2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to corrupt the file system here. Okay,
Mr. Savar, what does corrupt mean?
the file system gets corrupted. Don't you ever ran into your computer, it got corrupted? It will not boot, it will give you a lot of problems. You must have ever had one, right?
Oh,
Computer
what
crashed. How
corruption?
about system crashed?
Yeah, my system has crashed before.
Okay, so now what we're doing is specifically working on one file system here. Because in Windows environment there is only one file system, NTFS. There is nothing else. In Linux you could have lot of file system, but
Mm-hmm.
we usually work with XFS and uh, what's the other one? ext4. There are other file system also. If you have AIX and all that, we are not worried about that. So in this scenario, so let's work on the file system for demo purpose only. I'm going to run this command here. Okay, I'm going to officially show you the dd command little later. We already used the dd command, right? So let's see here. CD New York. Okay, so I have about 100 files in here, right? Or 200 files. So 201 files. I'm gonna corrupt a single. I'm gonna corrupt so that the SDB is no longer usable. Okay, so I'm gonna say dev 0 output file equals dev sdb2. Okay, byte size equal 1k and count equal 1024. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit enter here. So the file system is corrupted now.
Shut the file system down with that command.
No. So the file system is corrupted here. So right now, let's see here. Can we go in there? cd/New York. Okay, it is there, right? So
Yeah.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to restart. And what is going to happen here is via etc. So what will happen is when the system is booting up, it's actually doing a quick check on these. Check to see the file system is good to mount. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, now the file system is corrupted. See, it's going into emergency mode. Okay, so I'm gonna go over this emergency mode and regular modes a little bit later, because I mean I cannot really go through the flow without stumbling upon something else which we have not touched upon. Okay, we'll go over this. So I'm gonna put the password in here. So it is saying to type journal CTL. Okay, so I'm gonna put password. And I'm gonna go cat var log messages. Is this ever gonna stop? Okay, I'm gonna log in. I'm gonna do less var log messages. Okay, so in here what is the one we use? Is it a top command? History more. Tail. Tail. It reads. Command is the top 10 files of the file. No. Okay, so we'll do something else here. So now the system halts, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna do df-h, and we'll see when you type df-h, the New York is not mounted. Okay, so what else you could do is mount -a. So down on the bottom it says, it goes through all the things here. Down on the bottom it says mount/dev on New York failed. So now you know which one you want to fix. Okay, so I'm gonna say so run dff-h and cat etcfs tab, and then also run mount-a. Okay, so you run these. Okay, so you run mount-a, and you get this message here, right? This file system is not loading. So let me capture this. Okay, now once you determine which file system is there, you'll know. So you have to go into cat etcfs tab, cat/etcfs tab, and you have to see if it's a XFS file system. Okay, if it's a XFS file system, the command you're gonna run is xfs_repair, okay, dev/sdb2. Okay, and then I'm going to hit enter. So it's repairing it now. Okay, so it didn't give us error message. Down on the bottom it says done. So it went fast really fast. So we did xfs_repair /dev/sdb2. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to restart the system. Okay, so what happened now, it booted into the regular mode here. So if I do restart, I'm able to log in here. Okay, so I do df-h, so the New York is mounted, and if I go into cd New York, and all my files are gone. Wow. Was it New York or usually that's surprising to me, the files are gone. Okay. Repair XFS.
If the file system is corrupted, can it be bring it back?
Yeah, that's what the idea is. I mean, then if it's not corrupted, I mean, what it's trying to do is it will isolate that part of that corrupted file system and then try to bring it back here. I thought that command, when we run that command, it wouldn't have deleted anything. Uh, how to check? See xfs-n. Okay, let's do -n here. So I'm gonna create 100 files. I'm gonna run the dd command. Okay, I'm gonna init 6. Okay, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna put in the password. I'm gonna say XFS underscore repair and hyphen N, and I'm gonna say dev SDB2. Okay, found candidate, secondary super plugged, verified, prime numbers would have been modified, cannot proceed further with no modified mode. Exiting now.
Hey, Mr. Zafar.
Yeah,
When you put the XFS repair, did you write the device after to it? I think you need to put the device after the hyphen N.
yeah, I did. Dev slash SDB2. That's what we're working with, right?
Okay, okay, you selected the device. Yes, okay.
Okay, so let's see here. You know what? I think the mistake I did was I used mount hyphen A. I should have used mount hyphen A before. Uh, please mount file system and rectify the problem.
If we don't have the backup, then it can be repaired.
Usually backup is there. Before it goes into backup is very main important thing. Any big organization and any responsible business, they would definitely have backup. If they don't have a backup, quit that job,
Is
okay?
that
Please. They're playing
yes,
with the fire because data is king for businesses, right? If they lose their data, they
right?
lose the business. That's it. Uh, I'm gonna just reset here. Come on. Okay. One thing. One. 1 o'clock. Crash kernel RD. Oh, come on. Auto. I'm gonna see if I could. This is taking longer. One more time. So I have to type reload it, right? Yeah. Cannot change. It says read only. No, it's getting stuck on the New York. So we have to. I'm gonna try and disabling it. See. Uh, uh-oh. Okay, so the XFS file system, I removed it. So if you go into LSBLK, this file system is still there, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type xfs underscore repair dev slash sdb2. So what it says, find and verify super block, and the file system has valuable metadata in the log which need to be replayed. Mount the file system to replay and unmount it before running it. Okay, if you are unable to mount the come on. Control C. Okay, now I'm gonna mount. So the option is working to repair it, but what it's doing it now is destroying the data on the New York, which is not supposed to do that. I'm not sure why it's doing that. All right, let me keep that aside here. Let's work on corrupting okay, let me keep this side to the okay, now let's corrupt the ext file system and see what happens. Okay, so for ext file system I'm going to run the command dd I, you do lsblk then, right? Then we are targeting which one is ext? sdb1 is ext. How do we know that? Vi slash or blk id. blk id is sdb1 is ext4. So I'm going to clear it and I'm going to run the command dd input file equal slash dev slash 0 and output file is gonna be slash sdb1 and byte size is equal 1k and the count equals 1024. Okay, so the ext file system is corrupted now. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to reboot. Okay, I'm going to reboot in IT6. So the system boots into emergency mode and I do df-h. It's not there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to so I'm going to type fsck slash dev slash sdb1 and it says was not cleanly mounted, check forced, resize inode not valid. Okay, now I'm going to do df-h, or I'm going to say mount-a, df-h, and the Chicago is there. Oh, you know what? Let's create some files. Touch file 100. So there are 100 files in there, right? So I'm gonna corrupt this. Um, Two more minutes, I'm gonna end the class, okay? So I'm gonna run the dd command. Okay, now I'm gonna init 6. So I'm going to type red hat, and then I'm going to run the command fsck dev/sdb1. Okay, and I'm going to capture the screen. And then we're going to reside inode. So here I'm going to say no, and checking inode block, fix inode yes. Okay, inode bitmap difference, fix yes. Inode count wrong, yes. Yes. File system was modified. Okay, so I'm gonna, let me capture the screen here. Mount-a, df-h, cd Chicago, and all the files are there. This is what I was looking for. I'm going to check into the XFS file system. Normally what you do, what we see today, that problem we normally don't face it. Okay, when you type XFS repair, it usually is it's a, you could run that command with confidence here without fear of losing any data. So I'll check in to see why or if we missed any steps here. If you go do restart, I think what is happening here is for XFS, we are not getting the option to not delete inodes. When we are repairing XFS repair, it's deleting the inodes. And you all know when you delete the inodes, what happened? All the data is gone, right? I'll prove that to you guys. Okay, here, if we redo the inode, what did I say here? All data will be erased. So I think that's what it is messing with. And when we selected the option no here, when I selected the option no here, don't delete inodes, I think it preserved it. And it fixed the file system. Okay, so where am I now? So it mounted the file system after the reboot. And if I go into Chicago, the files are there. Okay, so we'll catch up where we left off tomorrow. And then tomorrow, let me see what else I need to do. This and this duplication. Okay. There is one little topic tomorrow. Then after that, we'll start scripting tomorrow. All right. So when I'm done, we'll load this video.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Zafar.
All right. No problem.
Thank you.
All right.
Have a
Sure.
good one.
Yeah. You too.
Thank you, Mr. Farr.
Yep.